Welcome back, everyone, and it's another exciting one. And today, we have a special guest as well to talk about all of the dispositions. What's your disposition? And what are you running nowadays? Is it really comparable to what it used to be? Stay tuned and find out. I'm feeling a little nervous today. Is it you, Brad?
It might be. I think I'm turning up the temperature in the room a little bit.
Is that what it is?
I think so. I can bring a little bit of heat today.
We caliente. What's going on, my brother?
The man literally has got like the emperor aura going on above him. So
I do. Hey, it's nice out right now. I've been outside working all day, so this feels great right now.
Wonderful. How you doing, Reigel? How you been, brother? How's everything with you, man? Miss
I'm
you,
doing
love
great.
you. We all miss you.
yeah, I was here last show. I just haven't been able to go to any events, which
I know from the one before that.
yeah. On the one hand, sad, but on the other hand, I'm not going to events because I am currently in the middle of planning a wedding and honeymoon. So,
Congratulations, and time for celebrations really soon, huh?
yeah, no, we are definitely doing what we can to make this happen. But it does mean I have to take a back, some of the hobbies and stuff. I take a back seat. So.
Well, we're happy to see you anyway.
Yeah, no, great to see you as well.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it, guys. This is excellent.
Speaking of, I found that she loved you and your wife's jerseys. I took pictures of
Oh,
them.
yeah.
I need one.
She might be my only fan, but she's definitely my biggest fan at the same time.
Mine's not even mine. Literally, any other woman I play is her big. She's like, yeah, I don't want them to win. And I'm like, cool. Solidarity, love it.
That's all that matters. Yeah.
She doesn't like to leave me unattended, so.
Speaking of which, my brother Brad, why don't you introduce yourself to the people who you are and what you're about and where you're from, and basically about your Warhammer 40K adventure.
So I've been kind of on and off this train for 20 some odd years now. Live here in South Florida. Big supporter of the scene, a big supporter of Onslaught and several other promotions. And, I love going to these events. I'm really more of a carefree kind of guy at the events. I love having a good time. This is my reprieve from my everyday life. So when I get out there, I like to joke around. A lot of people in the scene know me, and I'm usually smiling and laughing. I'm usually having a good time. I like people around me to have a good time, man. And like I said, Onslaught, you guys are excellent. I've been knowing you guys for a long time now. You guys always put on killer events. We just did the charity event at Dreammaker, which was absolutely excellent. So yeah, big round of applause for that.
Yeah.
We got to do that again. I mean, stuff like that. That's incredible. That's why I like this stuff. That's why I promote you guys as much as I possibly can, is because of stuff like that. And we've talked about this before. There's some people do tournament organizations. We try to do community organizations. So we try to put it out there for everybody. We want people to come have a good time. That's a big thing for us. We love that. So, and you guys are top kid as far as I'm concerned. You guys are excellent.
And before we get into the dispositions, so everyone knows and hears this for the first time live, right? You're actually going to be a judge at Crucible this year. So,
I am. Yeah.
That's
going over FAQs. I'm trying to get myself as teed up for this as I possibly can. I know I hit you up probably at least once a week and just run down a list of things just to verify from you. And yeah, no, it's going to be fun. It's going to be nice to be on the other side of it and kind of get to walk around and take a look and get to see everything. When you're at the events and you're playing, you just don't get the time to really run around too much and look at everything that's going on. So it should be fun, man. I'm really looking forward to it.
Reigel, what's the old saying? welcome to my world.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Embrace me, brothers. Embrace me.
Look, as a Crucible attendee, I just need to know: do you accept Venmo, Zelle, like a check?
Let's just say, do you accept charitable donations? That's all I can tell you.
Something they're losing it. No, it's great, and it's gonna be super exciting to see you there. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm happy to be there, man. Like I said, it should be a killer event. I know. I mean, that's one that we look forward to down here in Florida all year long. That's our big one. So I'm super excited, man. It's going to be so much fun.
We literally put in our leave at my job like in November, December the year prior. The first week or weekend I grab is Crucible. Like after every Crucible, I'm like literally Sunday before like 5 o'clock. I'm like, hey, Lewis, I know you haven't even left yet, but like, any idea for next year so I can start,
I know
my job just to make sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, listen, it's something that you plan for, and it's such a big event. And with the convention and everything that's going on at the same time, there's so much to do. I mean, it's going to be fun, man. It really is just something. If anybody out there hasn't been, you should really go. I mean, at least come out for a day, check it out. If you can't make it for the whole event, come on a Saturday. I mean, it's killer. It's a great time.
The best
you can't make it for the whole event, come on a Saturday. I mean, it's
also just for the people at home. If you didn't quite catch it because it went by pretty quick, be nice to your judges because they start months ahead of time to catch up on the FAQs, find the intricacies. Figure out, if a GW typo really means a random Gaunt's Ghost model can throw infinite grenades. Like, there's a ton of pre-work that starts weeks and months out. So, just be nice to them. They're there. They're people like me and you having a good time.
Yeah, don't be mean to us, please. We're trying.
So, speaking of Crucible, there's going to be a big team of judges there. For anyone who doesn't know, go check out Crucible on questcon.com, and you can check out that event as well. That's going to be a wonderful, like the guys were saying, right? That's just a wonderful convention and opportunity to do a plethora of things. Just the allure, the magnification of how many people are there is amazing within itself. Just watching people play all kinds of games, the cosplay contest, the painting contest. They have single model contests they're going to be doing there. They have Dungeons and Dragons, Hero Quest. They have so many game systems. Legion. They have Star Wars Legion as well. Legion, Shatterpoint.
Shatterpoint, yeah.
I think people are still playing Shatterpoint.
I think last year they had the Marvel game, didn't they?
Mario?
Marvel.
Oh, yes. Marvel game. Yes.
Yeah,
so I know HeroClix still has a fan base. I know they have one that's similar to Shatterpoint. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but yeah, Marvel's got some good games out there too.
It's Crisis Protocol or something like that.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Thank you. I was trying to think of it. Crisis Protocol.
I know, it was right there.
The tabletop games, like you said, there's painting classes, both free and paid. There's last year there was a karaoke room. Like one or two evenings, they just
Impending Duff. Shout out to Impending Duff. He's doing the painting contest and painting classes there too.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm saying. There's so much stuff to do there, man. Like you'll lose your mind. And it's only like $60 for the weekend just to do the regular stuff without playing 40K and all the major games.
Oh yeah, I mean it's far and away from the cost of like a Comic-Con. It's definitely affordable. That's why I mean everybody should at least come for a day and just check it out. The scene is absolutely incredible.
And tell the people where it's at. Tell them, Reigel, where it's at.
It is in Orlando at the Disney Springs Resort, Buena Vista Disney Springs, I believe. And look, I know what you're thinking.
Disney World.
How am I ever my significant other, or wife, or family to go? She's like, honey, I know you get overstimulated. I know it's a lot of people. Lazy River. Just relax. On the complex. You also, I don't know off the top of my head, but I do know there are going to be various guests there, holding panels and stuff. So feel free to go. I believe it's on Facebook. It's QuestCon Orlando on Facebook. They can go see like all the details that are currently available.
Yeah, definitely check out the website because they have everybody listed, every guest appearance, everything. From top to bottom, you can see everything on the website for sure.
Crucible is just one event at this, like you said, convention as a whole. So, yeah, and come in. If you may think it's a lot like Brad said, come say hi for a day, come chill, hang out, be like, you know what, this is my vibe. Next year, I'm so in.
Yeah. Well, once you go, there's no way that you won't sign up for it the following year. You'll be on the early wait list. You'll be beating on Lewis's door, being like, "Please put me on now."
Look,
it's a great time.
Last time I checked, 138 people were signed up. Sorry, Reigel. Go ahead.
My fiance is not a gamer in any sense of the word, and she went last year, and we were driving home, and she's like, "So do you have the dates for next year yet?" Like she was asking if we were going to come back.
There is something for everyone there. There's tons of vendors for all different types of things. It's not just one thing, and that's the best part about it. It's got something for everybody.
And it's in Disney. Did we mention it's at Disney World? It's like
For real.
You bring your family and they disappear and have a wonderful time too.
Where we're at, you can bus to any major park for sure.
Yep. So currently, Crucible has 146 participants signed up.
That's great.
It's aiming to be one of the largest Crucibles of all time, the largest show in Warhammer 40K in Florida. So excited. It's going to be truly a humbling experience. I know I've been working for this for years with the community, right? So I'm glad to see it evolve, growing, and to bring in a wonderful team as well. I'm really, like, I feel like I have a dream team. I feel
like you did. I don't want to put too much out there, but we kind of have a stacked deck right now. Yeah, we're looking good.
But listen, like you said, you don't want to put too much out there into the ether, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't think anything bad's gonna happen. But my thing is, right, that it's so good that I wanted to continue to be like this throughout the years, and hopefully it continues to evolve, man. So
absolutely,
it's a great opportunity. But anyways, let's talk about what the people came here for, right?
Disposition.
Yes, Reigel, you kind of want to start this off, and Brad kind of take it away, and you guys kind of back and forth, or how you want to do this? I'll interject as well. I got thoughts. Little bit of thought.
Look, people have heard me talk ad nauseum for weeks. Let's let Brad take it away.
All right, so dispositions, 5 of them. This is a really weird time for 40K because it's almost pick your primary, right? I want to build this type of list. This is the type of primary that I want to play. Now we can do that. So we're not resigned to just playing whatever the primary mission is for selection B or whatever it is. We now have an option. So we're picking our poison, so to speak, which is incredible because, I mean, that's 50% of your scoring, right?
Yep.
And when you have a say in what that's going to be for every game, that's a pretty interesting mechanic that we haven't had for a while. So I'll start there. That's the big thing. And I feel like with that being the case right now, I don't know if there's necessarily going to be an exact meta for what's, meta relevant per army basis. I feel like so many things are doing well and there's so much changing hands with who's on top each week. Since the start of 11th, we haven't had the same army on top week after week. It's been a revolving door, which has been kind of crazy. And yeah, we're starting to see, like, honestly, if you look at the numbers for that he has up right now, okay, that's how close the percentages are from top to bottom, just on the disposition breakdowns. That's insane. That's crazy.
It is an exact 5% gap from Reconnaissance to Disruption.
Yep.
And that's how good the game is balanced right now for your primary selections. And I don't think it's never been like that while I've played the game, where you can pick your primary.
And I just want to just one thing real quick. Disruption, part of its low win rate is because for a while, the only good detachments Eldar had to play with were kind of pigeonholed into Disruption.
Yep.
And they were struggling as an army, and then on top of that, having to take that. So just, again, that probably is lower by a percent and a half from Eldar alone. Just wanted to throw that out there.
But that's the fun part, right? Is now, like, especially in like the set, like a lot of 10th edition, we see like one or two armies kind of emerge towards the top, and then they just stay there until the next data slate.
Yep.
Whereas I feel like that's not what we're having at all right now. What's top this week is knock down 2-3 pegs at least the following week. So having anything that's just baseline, this is meta, this is a meta army right now, is almost non-existent.
Yep. And just to toss in 2 more cents here. In particular, I think this is a fear a lot of people had. If you even go back and watch some of our streams from 4 or 5 months ago, we mentioned it, where this idea sounds really good because of the kind of rock, paper, lizard, Spock dynamic you can have going on. Take Purge the Foe was real good, but then like Disruption was second best because it was good into Purge the Foe, and then Taking Hold kind of got a surge when the Orcs kind of got their buffs, and then Priority Assets has been on the up and up. This week it's down, and Reconnaissance has taken a rise up because some more armies got easier access to it, and Reconnaissance kind of plays the opposite of Taking Hold, Purge, and Priority in particular, where they kind of want to be in the center and control the board. Reconnaissance can just play the edges and still do their thing regardless. So to your point, Brad, it is a nice dynamic and revolving door based on what's on top, and then what as like the environment, the meta, for lack of a better word, has to adapt and adjust to. 100%.
And that's where the game gets really fun for me, because like I like a certain type of play. And I'm sure most people do. They kind of have a niche, a place where they kind of live. That's their comfort zone, especially when you've been playing for so long. And when, during 10th, there were just some metas that were prevalent that just made those armies almost unplayable. Like, you're not going to go there and be top table or anything like that. And you guys know me, I'll go anyway. I'm the 30 Vespid Stingwing guy. I'll go just to have fun. But it's nice that I can play the stuff that I want, and if I build it appropriately into my disposition, I can still find great success with it. And it's amazing.
Yep. No, same. Like, I went to, what was it? The Cherokee Open. I took 3 Lord of Skulls because the meta at that time was absolute crazy Catan spam. So I'm like, well, I'm going to get nowhere with Tyranids into 5 Catan being, 1 in 4 players lists. Screw it. Let's just see what. And I had fun. It was still a game I was playing with and had some friends along with me. But, this, as you said, you can kind of tailor your experience because outside of, player and armies for the TO side, we have one of those here. You don't got to worry about, what missions do I pick? What's everyone burned out on? Which one's not really fun for some people if they bring, like Custodies are real popular. Maybe Custodies don't want to go around and do terraform and actions with their big bricks of things. Now you don't got to worry about that. TO just bring your army, put your disposition on the list submission, show up, get your table set up, and play the game.
100%. And like I said, that brings so much versatility. You're not going to just see, 12, 15 people signed up with a very similar army list. You're going to see a big variety. And like even guys like Tucker coming in at Dreammaker and doing what he did with Imperial Guard, with the Astra Militarum. I mean, that was, who'd have thunk it?
I forgot what the last major was. Rocky Top, I don't remember. But the final was 2 orcs, and it was 4 different dispositions.
Yeah.
Neither list even shared our 2 detachments.
And while every list had a couple of core similarities, they were all very different lists beyond that first couple of bricks of boys.
Yep.
Every list was a little different.
So it's a very, very exciting time.
Yeah. Well, let's get into dispositions. Let's just start talking about them a little bit. Right now, the Force Disposition, this is the ranking right now, so you guys are seeing it on screen. 52% win rate for Reconnaissance, yeah? So this is my thing. I want to talk about each disposition as we go through, just to kind of just highlight a few little details about them and then try to get people's minds working about how to build that list to best complete that primary objective. And the best thing I can suggest is if you're going to try to lean into something like Reconnaissance wants you to do an action, right? It wants you to do at least one, if not two actions per turn. Your secondary call might be for an action. So what is that telling us off rip? From the jump street, we need stuff to perform actions. We need to be able to get on objectives. We need to perform those actions. That's what we want to do. So I've seen a few different types of lists that are doing really well at this. Sisters do really well at this. There's a couple of armies that just do exceptionally well at Reconnaissance. They're doing phenomenal.
Guard do well as well.
Yeah.
Recon wants to be everywhere on the board, right?
Yeah. Presence, you want to have a lot of disposable units. You want to have a lot of action monkeys. You want to be able to basically be a mid-board bully, but not where you have all this staying power with one or two big bulky units. You want to have 4 or 5 units over around this objective marker. 1 or 2 of them are going to be doing the actions. They're scoring you the points. The others are just screens. They're just putting out firepower. They're just trying to set you up for the following turn. And that's kind of the fun part about Reconnaissance.
Why do you guys think it's so high, the score, out of all of them?
I think because the previous week we've seen so much priority assets at the top of the list, and I think Reconnaissance is a good balanced play into that. And we also had a lot of changes where your detachments changed the disposition, so more people, I think, are actually giving Reconnaissance a try.
Also, so the one thing Reconnaissance, like, if you have to boil down each of these 5 dispositions to like a core identity, Reconnaissance is speed. If you're a fast army, you can do Reconnaissance and you score 40 almost every game. Everything Brad said, you touched on, Lewis, about disposable units and stuff. Reconnaissance is but it highly rewards those glass cannony armies that can precision out like 1 or 2 army or key units a turn, and then just be where they need to be. So like Tau are fantastic at this, with just things like Piranhas, Vespid. GSC are very good with their blips. Grey Knights in some cases. Tyranids, Vanguard is fantastic with Lictors, Gene Stealers, and like. Emperor's Children, a lot of the Emperor's Children discussions have moved towards this. So there's just a lot. If you're a fast army, either traditional,
I think Drakari and Eldar are really good at it too. I mean, there's a lot of armies that perform that really well.
I get it. Drakari have been doing phenomenally well off the back of this Reconnaissance alone, because it.
Shout out Adam Major, man. He's a killer with them.
Yeah, no, and Reconnaissance rewards you for, again, the armies that want to go fast and get to places without any kind of hindrance. You can score well. So Reconnaissance, like if you just need to like a quick kind of flashcard it, just think speed. So
100%.
Your Death Guard, don't look at Reconnaissance. Don't, unless you're taking the 60 Plague Bearer thing and like 3 bloat drones that can advance. Don't worry about it. That's not for you.
Then you want to be in take and hold, but that's like the beauty of it, right? Is if I want to play Recon and I want to play, I want to bring out my Drakari list, I'm going to play Recon. I can build into that. I can slate into that, and like you said, I can average 40 points of primary every game. Doesn't matter if I'm dealing with somebody who's trying to be a mid-board bully and picking up all my units. If I build appropriately, I can almost guarantee 40 points primary out of there.
That's not average. That's minimum. Like unless you really throw, or your opponent, is also doing it and just runs you down and tables you. You can, as a quick example, into Purge the Foe. If you just don't do anything turn 1 for Purge the Foe, where they're trying to consecrate things and they can't. You get such a momentally where you can still hit 45, and they now have to like really put it didn't just kill you and step somewhere. They actually have to like push to you to even get to 40 reliably. So that's just
100%. And that's another thing too, is like you said, let's bring back what you said about the orcs. We had 4 different dispositions played out of those 4 top lists.
Detachments,
detachments. Okay, and we had We had different dispositions. We had different play styles. Everybody saw success. So, but everybody's doing something a little bit different. Everybody's leaning into their dispositions, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is the thing, and I firmly believe this. Like Reconnaissance right now, it doesn't have an opposing disposition that outright counters it. I don't think anything just counters the disposition. I think if you build appropriately, you might run into a list that might have a little bit higher volume or a higher pace that might actually put you in some deep water. But having said that, most of the time, like we're talking about, you can score so much on your primary because you're setting yourself up with what you've built to score those primaries.
Well, that's the other thing I want to touch on real quick. I don't know how long I want to spend on each disposition, but the last point I had for Reconnaissance is if you're in 3 of the 4 table quarters or aiming for 4 table quarters from turns 2 to 5 or even 1 through 5, guess what? Almost every card you draw, you're going to score, either big or small. If you're in every table quarter, you can find a terrain piece to plunder. You can, cleanse your an objective or two. Like you can usually, depending on the army and the board state, find something to assassinate, leverage your damage for bring it down. Like it not only for primary, but Reconnaissance more than any other, except probably Disposition's a good match here as well, but we'll get to it later. It has its own issues. Just naturally sets you up for success for whatever card you draw. Like the only time I have a problem is on turn 5 when maybe I'm down to like the dregs of my last 3 or 4 units, and I'm like, oh, one of them's a spore mine, so I can't do an action with it. And I'm kind of like, all right.
And you know what? Even that, like, because I've done it too, and I think it's because I'm trying to go too fast early in the game, and that's where I'm not thinking late game. And I think a lot of people, and myself included, sometimes we need to slow down and take that first turn, especially with something like Reconnaissance. Take that first turn just to stage things out. Dude, stack up those secondary cards. You don't have to score them right away.
Yep. Nope.
Just because you pulled them does not mean you have to score them this turn. That's another big change to the game right now, and it goes great with Reconnaissance.
Yep. Yeah. But I think it's a 1-2 punch of some armies and it's true for all of them. This is the first point. Some armies, it just fits the game plan they want to do. Like Drukhari, almost no matter what detachment you take, Drukhari love Reconnaissance. They are a fast, made of paper, transport heavy army. They can get to you, they can kill you, they cannot survive your turn. So if they can score all their points in their turn just for getting somewhere, they're happy. But yeah, that's. And we'll see what Eldar do with it now that they have more access to it. Is that Tyranids have been at a 50% win rate despite the various meta shifts in early 11th. So we'll see how it continues to perform. But I think it's, like I said, the 1-2 punch of leaning into natural strengths of playstyles. And then you just draw cards and go, oh, wow, I guess I do just behind enemy lines, don't I?
Yeah. Well, and that's you want those feel-good moments with your army. Like some people like really are drawn into this game because they're excited to play an army, and they can absolutely do that right now, and that's awesome. That's amazing.
Or play a detachment. There are many. I have not gone and looked, but I would guess live on air in front of people that over half the armies in the game only had one play style for like any point in time between data slates.
Yep.
Now you just
we all know that to be true. Everybody here knows that's true. If you're playing this army, you've got 1, maybe 2 options to see actual tabletop success.
Yeah, like my army of choice right now is sitting on like a solid 3 to 4 different disposition mixes that like could take you to a podium at a GT, which is an awesome place to be.
And that's something we'll discuss later too. Is that variance to be able to build into any type of disposition, and we'll talk about the flex on that. I'd say right now, let's go ahead and move on to Take and Hold. Take and Hold, doing really well. It's actually done well since the game started. I feel like Take and Hold is like the most consistent. Like I'm playing 40K. This is what I'm doing. It is the most baseline. Like this is 40K in a nutshell. I want to take objectives. I'm trying to keep the objectives. I want to be here. I love Take and Hold. I think Take and Hold is a great place to be, especially for mid-board bullies. I mean, think about armies that are traditionally a little bit slower, but super hard to get rid of. High OCs that just go to midboard and just never leave. This is the perfect disposition for them. They've got their niche right now.
I think it covers 95% of different factions, right? Like 95% of the factions can actually play this really well.
I think so, yeah.
I think there's certain detachments that might not be able to, but I think everything plays this very well. In the later games, maybe Custodes, maybe not surviving to play this throughout the whole game, but I think there's a lot of factions that play it well. Go ahead, Reigel, my bad.
I think Take and Hold, again, if you boil it down to just a concept, Take and Hold is the defensive. If you're a passive player or a reactive player, not a passive, but if you're like more reactive player, not proactive, Take and Hold is like Death Guard, where you don't got to worry about overextending to you. Orcs,
Death Guard's a perfect example. It's the perfect example.
Mm-hmm. But even
again, we're talking about slow-moving masses, hard to get rid of, really good at just deteriorating the opponent. And the longer they live there, the more likely it is that you're losing your units as well.
Now, I want to ask the both of you a big brain question, right? Like, do you feel like the default for most people, and to kind of sub-question it as well, if they feel like Take and Hold is a default, are people taking like D1 level data sheets in order to play the Take and Hold? And are people losing themselves in that? Is there different ways that they should be playing it? Maybe Take and Hold, they should be thinking about speed, or maybe they should be thinking about shooting or melee. What are your thoughts on that, gentlemen?
So I think it depends on the army. I think that Take and Hold can be played with two archetypes the best, like D1 to use your terminology. The first one is absolutely the 40 Terminators and Paladins and Grey Knights. I'm here. You're not going to stop me. If you get within 10 inches, I'm going to kill you.
Yep.
I will live longer than you. And then the other way is kind of the other end of that spectrum with like World Eaters is a good example. Where World Eaters can put trash out, good trash with OC, Spawn, Jackals, Goremongers, even a Rhino full of dudes near a wall they can get out behind. And you can just say, all right, I'm here, come kill me. And then they have to, or they shoot you, you still hold it, and they come kill you. You're like, oh, cool. You're within, checks notes, 8 inches. Die. Yeah. And so I think it's either a defensive wall kind of situation, or I think it's the perfect not fast melee army disposition where you want to get to grips with them, but you can't move 20 inches every turn or with every unit. So you got to do the work of bringing them to you. Because you just like, all right, I'm holding the center, I'm holding this one with something I don't care about losing. Doesn't matter.
I would say, I'm going to turn your question a little bit. I'm going to say, instead of talking about whether you would take a D1 list to play Take and Hold, I would say Take and Hold is the one disposition that any new incoming player into the game, or even seasoned veterans who are playing extremely serious 40K, can take that disposition and find a level of success above almost any other ones.
So default, my original question, right? So are people taking this as default? Yes, right? You could take this as a default faction and it won't really inhibit any faction out there mostly, right?
If you go back and look at the first couple of weeks leading up to the data slate, there's a reason Purge and Take and Hold were the two most taken ones, because it's a reason also why their win rates are the two closest, even in this close bracket of win rates. And that is, when you were learning an entire new gaming system, simplifying as many steps as possible will help you to learn the intricacies. So if you're not trying to reconnaissance, you're not trying to disrupt, you're not trying to figure out your party assets, you're just like, all right, I'm either going to go here and not die and kill them to kill me, or I'm going to go there and kill them faster than they can kill me.
Well, and you guys got to think about it this way too. This is a game that, you know, when you go from average play to like these super competitive play, because to be honest, we're in South Florida. We've got like some of the best players in the US. We go to RTTs with them every weekend. So it's like, when you take something like Take and Hold, that's good, honest 40K. You're really just playing, you know, to get to your no man's land objectives. You want to hold objectives. It's teaching you the best and most core fundamentals of the game. And that's what units are working on the board to help me hold this objective. What units are doing a fantastic job of screening people from coming in and just ransacking over that objective. It's teaching you a lot of the fundamentals of the game to elevate your gameplay. I think Take and Hold is a great entry point. But to what you said earlier, Lewis, it's from the top to the bottom. You can play Take and Hold and see great success with it. It doesn't matter if it's a D1 list.
I agree. But I think that people get trapped in the mindset that once you start building that Take and Hold, you want a D1, right? And I just think, like you said, and both of you mentioned this, it's more flexible than that. There's more opportunities and you don't have to stick into that. I think it's probably one of the strongest suits of Take and Hold, though. Like, for example, I'm building currently a Take and Hold. This is funny. We didn't even talk about detachments no more. We just talk about the dispositions that we're taking, right?
Yeah.
So I'm taking Take and Hold and Purge the Foe. A perfect combination of what Reigel exactly was talking about. By default, we've kind of been programmed since ITC originally started, where we only had Purge the Foe and Take and Hold, essentially.
That was it. Yeah. 100%.
Right? So we've kind of been programmed through that. And a great point that Reigel brought up, brilliant, well articulated, is that at the beginning of the game, you want to simplify it as simple as you want, as you can, right? Especially as expert players, you might go into a new edition and say, well, let me just try out Purge the Foe and Take and Hold for the time being until I get acclimated. Then I'll move on to a recon or a disruption or priority assets priority assets. So like I'm moving to priority assets now. I have another list I'm thinking about using for priority assets. I never thought I would want to do actions for world leaders. But anyways, that's for our topic for another. But we're still
we'll definitely get into that once we kind of run down through these dispositions, because that's definitely some stuff I want to discuss. But yeah, Take and Hold, great baseline for people coming in. It kind of gives you a simplified primary to worry about. And the great thing about it is when you read all 5 of your cards, every one of them wants you to do the same thing. It wants you to go to midboard and hold at least 1, if not 2 objectives. All right. And that's a great thing, a mechanic to learn of the game is to screen properly, what units are viable as those Take and Hold options, and, you know, posing threat behind them. Should you threaten that unit, what's the ramification for that? What's going to happen to my unit because I exposed it here to try and get you off that point.
So you are diving way in the deep end of play theory. This is great, but we are going to lose the folks. That is not the you are absolutely correct. You know, threat assessment, threat ranges, you know, consequences of responding or putting threats out. All those matter, 100%. And they affect what disposition, because if you just can't, like if someone has a counter charge you just can't do anything about, maybe you don't want to take that Purge the Foe that forces you to go into that. Like maybe like, you know what, I'll do some priority assets if, you know, that's the case.
100%. Let's talk about Purge the Foe, man. Let's get into Purge.
Real quick.
That's Regal's favorite right there, because he's Mr. E Biomass.
I'm gonna just right in the biomass. No, real quick on
Purge the Foe. Let's talk about it, because Purge the Foe is the other half of the other side of that coin. When we talk Take and Hold, the other half of that coin is Purge the Foe. Purge the Foe is kill. That's what we want to do.
It's true. I have one last thing on Take and Hold real quick, just to kind of give, like you were saying, change the mindset. If you have a sticky on death, sticky on kill, or reasonably guaranteed fight on death, with units that can use those, think about Take and Hold. Think about, okay, because the gameplay pattern is they're forced to come to me, or I hold this and get points, and then they come to me and I get my pound of flesh anyway and still maybe score points.
Yep.
So even if you're not going for the defensive thing, you can kind of go with the counter punch to doing that. But anyways, purging. I've traditionally hated this one, and Reconnaissance into Purge is actually kind of fun, so I don't mind it now. But
I don't know why you of all people would hate Purge.
GW doesn't like making Tyranids good at killing. Even in 9th edition, when we were broken, like 80% of our damage was mortal wounds, not attacks. So we are really not good at killing stuff. We're good at every other asset, but killing things, we got to really leverage our every data sheet.
True. Yeah. Well, then I tell you what, you know who we can really point the finger at then? The World Eaters player. Because they're actually really effective killers.
No. World Eaters and Orcs. Don't let them. Don't let you forget.
Hey, originally I denied this though. I still deny Purge Default with my World Eaters. I don't think it's the best one for us. I really don't. I'm not convinced. I didn't think it was before. I still don't think it's the best now.
I don't think so.
Well, stand on business, Lewis. Tell us, what do you think is the best for World Eaters?
For World Eaters, honestly, it's all predicated on what you're building, man. It really is with World Eaters, because I think like most factions you can build in any direction. World Eaters are so flavorful now that they can actually shoot. Now that GW actually gave World Eaters some competent shooting with full rerolls, right? Like, it's good. It's really good right now. It gives us another lane. It opens up a phase for us, right? So now we actually play in an additional phase in the game. So that's been really nice. So I'm thinking more take and hold priority assets, to be honest with you. Those have been my two favorites.
You heard it here first, everybody. The man, the myth, the legend says priority assets, take and hold for your World Eaters. Try it out. Have some fun with it. Change your disposition. Test it out. I want to hear back from everybody that plays World Eaters. I want you to try priority assets or take and hold and tell me what you think.
I just want to say, look, I agree with 80% of that statement. Don't take Disruption as World Eaters. You're not going to like your life. Don't do it. Don't do that to yourself.
Or it looks like everyone's doing poorly with it. So
I love all the hate for Disruption right now, and we'll get into that when we cover Disruption. But let's talk Purge the Foe. Purge the Foe is an excellent one, again, for starting players or veteran players alike. Okay, when you can build your list to do exactly that, you want to kill. I want to destroy your units. I want to pick up as many as possible. Okay, 99% of the time, you're going to be able to effectively do that. Unfortunately, the downside, the folly that I see with armies that are running Purge the Foe is what happens when you run in to a list that has 3 Lord of Skulls. How many units can you kill now?
Well,
you know,
not to cut you off, but just the other thing is Purge forces you to build elite, probably more than take and hold. Actually, this is where you really see those unkillable units, because a lot of them encourage the kill more bonus on primaries.
Yep.
I think 3 of the 5 have a kill more stipulation, so you don't have the which is, it's a good balancing maneuver on GW's part. You don't have the luxury of screens, because that screen could cost you 4 points.
Yep.
If you have 2 or 3 screens, well, that's just 12 points you just lost.
Oh yeah, 100%. Oh, it definitely goes the other way. You know, if you're a reconnaissance player and you've got 20 units on the board, a Purge player is very happy to go into you. Absolutely.
Yes, it is too. A great point that Naked brought up, right? Purge is also punishing if you fail your primary objective. It can be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the example I use for Reconnaissance. If you just don't give them a consecration turn 1, they really struggle to. You're winning primary without them really upsetting the matchup. So, but the other side of that coin is a lot of Purge lists are kind of built to Purge. A good example is
very much so.
18 bike squad is like, hey, I'm going to get to you turn 1, whether you like it or not, and you're going to die. And I'm going to sweep across the board. So I think Purge is very good for, it's a very niche thing where you really have to have both defensive and offensively capable units that are able to get the kills. Like Deathwatch switching to Purge the Foe is terrifying. Teleporting good shooting that can stay safe, drop down, hit you, and then like maybe
now we're talking about armies that are specific elite choices designed to do that. Just kill. That's yeah, 100%.
I also think there's an argument for Grey Knights, where they can do some builds where they can really mess you up and stop you from hitting them back in any meaningful way. I think they're better at taking hold, but Purge is certainly still on the menu, especially in just a real quick thing. If you have any teams questions, please comment or ask. This is mostly for singles, but in teams, this conversation gets real deep real fast.
Oh yeah.
Because then
you know what else? An army that I didn't really think was going to be a huge Purge army, but absolutely is Tau. Tau is insanely good at Purge right now.
It's so good they got nerfed with it.
Yeah. I mean, rightfully so. It was feeling a little unbalanced. So I mean, I feel like it should balance things off for them. I don't think it was like a devastating blow where like Tau is just unplayable or anything, but they do. I feel like right now they do Purge very well. They're doing exceptionally well in Purge.
Yep, and Purge, for another great point Naked made, Purge has been taken hold is good for like defensive melee armies. Purge is actually better for fast guns than it is any melee army in the game. No matter how good or how fast your melee is, you're always inherently putting yourself in your opponent's hands by going to them versus the 24-inch gun blowing them off the table. So fast or teleport guns, by far and away the best Purge
Twin Lances.
armies.
But rest in peace, Twin Lances.
I still think I think if you're playing the Retaliation cadre that wants suits, you'll see it. But yeah, I think like just taking it like as an auto include, no. But like you're built around it. You'll still see it.
I think when you look at just how overly represented Ret Cadre was, I mean, it needed to change.
You mean Maka?
Yeah.
Do we have anything else on Purge before we start paying some bills? I don't want to cut us off prematurely.
No, I think Purge is pretty well covered. I mean, you want to kill stuff.
Nope, I do have one. Demons, by the nature of how they're normally played, and this also with Knights, those hyper elite armies with big T11, T10, 4-up, 5-up invulns. Rip Zinch. I'm not a big fan of the guy, but man, that bird list got nuked out of orbit.
It really did. I think. I think it's kind of the way that things go, though. I mean, you got to look at how many. Like they souped up the birds so much that everybody was just running 3 of them, and when everybody's maxing out like that, I think it's GW's responsibility to do something to try to neutralize the game, so that we're not just seeing the same things played over and over and over again.
Now, don't let anyone lie to you and tell you demons are out of it, because Legion of Blood is Purge the Foe. And oh boy, can you take that with the mounted one, so you have Scarbrand and a bunch of, what are they called, Lewis? Blood Crushers. And,
the Blood Crushers are sick right now.
So, like,
honestly, you could just take all 3 1 DP detachments for all the new ones and just run a bunch of mounted and a bunch of infantry, and you'll do fine.
Shout out to healthy spousal support. We love to see it in the community.
Love it. Shout out.
That's my wife.
You're being watched.
Hi, baby. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive into this, because I think this is the big one right now. A lot of people are talking about priority assets.
Before we get into priority, go ahead, Regal.
No, I was going to pass it off to you. You got it.
We're gonna pay the bills, my beautiful people.
Oh,
we'll be right back. This is also gonna be a large sponsor. We're gonna have thousands and thousands of these dice at QuestCon Crucible. Stay locked in. And don't you dare leave us. Don't you dare leave us.
Stick around. It's gonna get good.
Planned.
Now with a word from our sponsor, Baron of Dice. Baron of Dice is your one-stop shop for premium wargaming dice. Our dice are made with premium resin materials and colored dyes. Each die is hand mixed to the desired result and then carefully swirled with 2, 3, or 4 colors in a silicone mold before being laser engraved with a wicked symbol and finished in a matte or gloss polish. There are no imperfections in our dice, no balancing issues, no micro bubbles or mold lines. This is the difference between. You can, quite literally, feel and hear a difference with our dice. Whatever game you play, whatever style your team or faction rocks, we're sure to have something to elevate your game. With over 500 styles and over 4,000 customer reviews, welcome to the best dice on the planet. Now back to our show.
Welcome back, everyone. Before we get back into it, if you haven't, make sure you like, subscribe if you like seeing us, because YouTube ignores us if you don't. So we'd appreciate it. And so would anyone else watching this in the future.
Thank you very much, Regal, for that. We have super chats now, so you have the opportunity to feed Regal. Listen, this man is trying to grow his hair back with chia pets. All right, we need your we need your money. We need your assistance. Okay, please. He's in dire need. He hasn't seen top hair since he was a child. All right.
I was but a wee
Feed
lad.
the boy, feed him.
He was 11 years old. He was already bald.
On Christmas with chia seeds. Please, son.
Oh, gotta love it. Listen, we gotta inject some laughter in here. Spice it up a little bit. All right, so Brad, your show, baby. It's all about you today. Thank you once again. I'm not kicking you off. You're just going to continue on to priority.
Absolutely. Actually, I'm going to stop for a second to help pay the bills. If you guys are watching right now, like, subscribe, follow for more. We do this stuff all the time. These guys are always putting on for the people. Follow, tune in for the next one, join the Discord, get involved. You won't be unhappy with your choice. I promise you. All right. Priority assets. We're going to talk about it. It was really at the top of the list last week. It was very highly represented the week before. So priority assets for me is a very interesting one. Priority assets, when you look at the cards and you read what you're supposed to do in any of your other disposition matchups, most of them require you to get to one no man's land objective and hold that objective. So we're kind of getting back into a take and hold type situation, but with a little bit of flavor. Okay, now there's extra actions involved, or what have you, and it changes the location. Sometimes it's mid, sometimes it's just one of the expansions. But either way, priority assets has been doing really well, and it's always around the mid to the top of the board. And I think that's for a very viable reason. What do you guys think?
I think that this is, on first glance, it looks complicated because almost every single one, if not everyone, has an action on the back of it. But I think this is actually sneakily the easiest one. You do have to build your army to do it, because if you don't give yourself enough button pushers, people to do the actions without sacrificing efficiency, you're going to lose out on primary, and that's a list building mistake. No amount of play is going to fix that. But priority assets can really be boiled down to control the center, which by the nature of the game is always being fought over, even if you don't need to, like on Reconnaissance or Disruption. You don't want your opponent getting that extra primary just by the nature. Like, you don't want him holding any. You definitely don't want him holding 2 or 3. So that is a natural progression of the game. And like we said about taking a hold, it also forces your opponent to come to you because they're thinking the same thing. I don't want them holding their home, their expansion, and this one. Quick note, for those of you who don't know, your home doesn't count for most primaries. On every single one that has hold more, your home is included in that hold more. So
absolutely.
Just a quick side note on that. But if you can secure your expansion, screen out your backfield, and clear the center and press the button again for every turn, or in some 4 out of 5 turns, because you can't do it to turn 2 on some of them, it's like Reconnaissance. You're going to get 40, 45 points every game. And it's a very passive play style. You don't ever have to cross the halfway line unless your opponent forces you, or you get a card that says to, like engaged or behind. But for the most part, you can play a solid 70% of your game plan in your territory. And I think that, and now again, you have to build your list with that plan in mind. But every army can do priority assets. I would venture to say that it's so good because this is actually the one that is just the most Warhammer, because it has a little bit of Purge, a little bit of Take and Hold, and you don't got to overextend to score to do what it tells you to do.
And I think you touched on it right there too. Like, it's one of those where it might seem complicated at first read, and some of them can be a little bit convoluted, especially in the description of what you're doing, especially the ones that require an action. But at the end of the day, it really is just pushing you to take most of the time that central objective and then maybe purge a little bit or perform an action. It's not too much outside of that. So it's actually kind of, once you get to messing around with it, it gets kind of simple to do. It's not super crazy. It's really not.
If you have like an axis of like, simple to extreme, I think priority sets right in the center.
100%.
Like I said, it's a little bit of Take and Hold, a little bit of Purge. By the nature of holding your expansion and screening your backfield, it's a little bit of Reconnaissance.
If you're playing into Disruption, it requires a little bit of Reconnaissance. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, but also like just again, this is unanimous across all your opponents. You want to clear your opponent from the center objective, possibly their expansion, if your army can, reach out and touch them. So you're also doing disruption in some cases. So like in both what it tells you to do and how you kind of need to play the game, because you could just do your thing, let your opponent do yours, and you both score 100. Like, we have GT results at the tie that are 100-100. Those have happened already.
Or just barn burners that are like 80-somethings to barely breaking 90s. Those kinds of close-quartered games, those are the best games. I mean,
I've had two. One I won, one I lost. They were both 1-point differences. So
I'll take those every game. I don't win or lose, don't matter. I would rather have it a few points that close every game. And I think, before I get off topic, I think Priority Assets does a great job once you start constructing into just playing Priority Assets, allowing you to max that primary almost every game. It's really good at maxing primary when you just lean into I'm doing Priority Assets.
I'm going to say something a bit crazy, but I think if you want to get better at 11th edition, that we're talking about, kind of just like we said in the for Reconnaissance or for Take and Hold and Purge, making it simple to play. If you want to get good at how 11th plays, I think I forgot who it was in our chat. Someone said about list building has fundamentally changed. Play priority assets, even if it's against the grain, if it's not what you're used to, you don't like the detachment it's in. Yep. That will sharpen every other skill that you'll need. Like I said, it's in my mind on the center of the axis with disruption or Reconnaissance and Take and Hold on the complicated like move, be mobile, do stuff side, and Purge and Take and Hold on the more stationary, be reactive side. Priority assets, dead center.
Yeah.
And that's
Lewis, what are you thinking?
So, no, those are valid points that both of you bring up, right? Reigel had a lot of great points, too. And the reason why a lot of factions like my World Eaters, but armies that can stage really well. If you like to play chess and not checkers, Priority Assets is really good at that, right? Because you really have an opportunity to stage an army. It forces you by default, like Reigel was saying, to stage an army and position an army mid-board where you never have to threaten going past that. But if you have the speed and the abilities to get out there really fast, like EC, more so EC than World Eaters, but World Eaters like to stage really well, and then kind of clap back. My favorite metaphor for World Eaters, right? Because it's more like a cowardice villain. It's like that cartoon character you used to see when you were a little kid that would hold the bat ready behind the wall to kind of clock the coyote on the head. That's exactly what World Eaters do. They kind of get in positions behind ruins, and then they're ready to hit you with that baseball bat. They come out all scary with that baseball bat. But Priority Assets is amazing for those type of factions. I would also say maybe even Harlequins are pretty good at this as well. They have. I
would love to see Harlequins a little bit more represented for sure. But I think to Regal's point too, when you talk about a disposition that kind of is forced into doing, both, that's probably your ultimate player's guide to 11th edition right now. Is if you're playing priority assets, you're setting yourself up to learn both sides of the coin at once.
Yep, because fundamentally, to do priority assets, you need to control the center. So you need to kind of like assess threat assessment, like you were saying, assess, stage to set up counterplay, to set up your next action monkeys. You need to screen your backfield so you don't get pincer maneuvered. You need to hold your side objective in case the center goes critically wrong. You can, and you just want to anyway. So there's a ton of core skills that are around the primary that really uplift, everything. But as a core primary, priority assets, it is the most middle of the road one, and it's actually quite fitting that I think Space Marines have it almost everywhere, because out of all the armies, they should be the ones that can do priority assets. They're the jack of all trades for the most part, not getting into wolves and blood angels and all that, but like just Space Marines.
Oh yeah, without going into divergent chapters, I mean, you look at an army like Space Marines. The beautiful thing about them is they can do any of these. But as far as something that's kind of versatile, depending on what your disposition matchup is, yeah, something that can go into almost anything and do any of those is really important. But I'd say the biggest lesson that priority assets will teach you, the more you play it, is trading up. Trading up is huge for priority assets, because any amount of leverage for priority assets, and it can run away with the game.
Yep, 100% agree. And I think priority assets is going to be one of those where it never quite tops out at the most one, just by nature of how, like, even you can see it's the second most played one next to Take and Hold. And I honestly think that as the edition goes on, priority assets will probably sit at the second highest win rate, but like the most played, or just under the most played, because again, I think it is just the one that once you get to grips with what the game is asking you to do, it's the primary that most falls in line with it for most armies.
Yep. And I
don't worry, brother. We're going to talk about disruption next. We're going to get into it for sure.
From Mr. Chris Elfie Garcia himself. Good players in disruption.
Shout out Elfie. Love you, brother.
Absolutely. He's an amazing guy.
Elfie.
I mean,
if
you don't know him, you should.
Get him in here. Yeah, so priority assets. I 100% agree with you, Reigel. That one is just, like I said, it's both sides of the coin. It's going to teach you so many fundamentals of the game, and I don't think you're over challenging yourself by playing priority assets. I think it's exactly where you need to be to give yourself, options. Especially, just take it and go to an event, go to an RTT, go to a major with it, try it out. You'll have that little bit of fluctuation where every game doesn't feel the same, which is a really nice feature for priority assets.
So then kind of going back to, Reconnaissance, I said, was speed, Take and Hold, that's kind of the defensive one. Purge is the offensive one. Priority, this one is the pacing one. This will teach you how to, like you mentioned in the beginning, Brad, and I agree with you. Sometimes players can get a bit too fast, a bit too into it. Like, oh, I can reach you with 3 units. Why don't I just do that?
I'm guilty of doing it, for sure.
Brother, same. But then turn 5, you're like, I really do only have 2 units left.
Yeah.
Funny.
Oh, yeah.
We'll curve that, because you're like, turn 5 and I do cleanse and I got my primary, but I also got behind enemy lines. Well, this is awkward. So this one is pacing. It'll really help you both in list design and playing the game, learn how to meet out your units. Also, if you have lone ops, reactive moves, or lone ops with reactive moves, this is calling your name. They love this.
You'll love priority assets. If you have that type of flexibility, especially with reactive moves, you get rewarded so highly for playing with that. You'll love it. You'll love it. Absolutely.
Not specifically naming any combat lieutenants.
It's not even, I don't even run them anymore. I stopped running them. I don't even run them anymore. The second they hit 85 points, I said, they're overcosted now.
I agree on every disposition that's not priority assets.
It's hard to disagree with you. I 100% agree that unit right there loves priority assets. It is a monster unit for 85 points in priority assets.
The even cooler thing is, not only is it a loan up with reactive move, you can also go, oh yeah, this center objective I get to reroll ones on because F you in particular.
That's why I say you can't really go wrong with it. I stopped using it, before after the points increase. I just found myself like trying to be a little bit more flexible with my units. And
like they have no shortage of things that can do a similar job and be like, I think Dark Angels are actually probably the best.
Yes.
Other than maybe Ultramarines, like they're more rules heavy. Like Dark Angels with their speeder 1 DP detachment and just the nature of their bulk and stuff, I think they got a real good claim to priority.
100%. All right. Well, I've seen the chat talking about this several times already.
Oh, so I have so many more opinions about this than the other four combined. I'm so ready.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and say, let's do this. Let's dive into Disruption.
Yep. This is a good point.
First off, right here. Heck yeah, Death Jester. Throw
yes.
Yes.
Yes. And I already said we want to see Harlequin. I want to see Harlequins. I want to see them played way more than they are. They're so underrepresented. I want to see way more. If you've got Harlequins, please bring them out. I want to see them on the table.
No World Eaters.
Yeah. That goes for you too, Lewis. Bring out the Harlequins.
All right. You want me to bring out the Harlequins?
100%.
We'll talk, me, you, and I'll talk to Reigel as well because he has a lot of great thoughts about that. But we'll talk on the phone, and we'll try to build a list all together.
And to Elfie's point, that list is going to include 3 Death Jesters.
But listen, I'm pure Harlequins. I'm not going with anything else. It's just going to be pure Harlequins.
You're not allowed. It's forbidden.
Yeah, once you hit the second Death Jester, that's it. You're pure Harlequins at that point.
100%. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Lewis, I'm going to play the game legally. Betancourt over here.
So, like I said, let's do this. Let's dive in. Let's talk Disruption. And I'm going to start with this. And Lewis, I've said this to you. I play an army right now that's pretty much being placed into C tier.
Yep.
And I've been playing in Disruption. I've been doing this on purpose, and I sent you the screenshot like a week ago where we looked, I think it was Aspect Tactics was talking about like the breakdown. And I think there was somewhere in the realm of like 30 some odd Blood Angels players, and only one of those players was Disruption.
Yep.
So that was me. I've actually been having a blast with Disruption. I feel like Disruption is a great one to be in. It, in a lot of sense, it wants you to purge. It plays very similar to priority assets. I feel like the only time Disruption's a bad one is when you're going into priority assets. Priority assets is the weird one. It's the outlier, but I'll say this. I've been playing Disruption with my Blood Angels, and it's been fantastic. I've loved playing Disruption. I have no issues with Disruption whatsoever other than the priority assets matchup. It wants you to take either a central or an expansion objective, so it has a little bit of take and hold features into certain matchups. You get rewarded for killing stuff. When you're playing into Purge, I feel like it gives you a better version of Purge, where you just score 2 victory points every time you kill a unit. Whereas the Purge player
but this is
has to select their targets.
Well, hold on. This is coming from a man who plays Blood Angels. Disruption is known for speed and just being anywhere, right? Like Grey Knight and Blood Angels play this very, very well.
Exceptionally well.
If you have uppy downies, like you're gonna play this exceptionally well. If you have speed, you can cover the board very fast, and that's what you do. Matter of fact, I've heard people that played against you, and they're like, "Holy moly, Blood Angels! I didn't know they were that fast."
Well,
they are.
So to clarify, I've been playing it in Legacy of Grace and Stormlance. So Stormlance is only a 2 DP detachment for Blood Angels. And I think a big part of that is because Assault Intercessors with jump packs, the veteran squads with jump packs, all those are pricier units for Blood Angels. And all of our fly units that are actually Blood Angels units are also kind of pricey. So it all gets super elite So I think that's kind of why they did the 2 DP for Stormlance. But paired with Legacy of Grace, so you have advance in charge and fallback in charge with everything with Stormlance. With Legacy of Grace, anything that is a Blood Angels character infantry unit gets +1 to advance and +1 charge. So the wild card factor of how fast I'll move with a unit this turn is so hard to measure. I feel like the only person who honestly did an exceptionally good job of constantly trying to make sure they stayed at the right level of threat range was probably Lee with the custom. He did the very best job, and it was like like you said before, it was a chess game where we just went back and forth, and we both know what we're trying to do, and we're trying not to bridge that gap. But yeah, it's an interesting play. I feel like Disruption gets a lot of hate. I think it's way underrepresented. I think the second you increase the margin of play for Disruption, you'll see an increase in the win percentage.
But I think Reigel said it best earlier, right? He was talking about priority assets, and I think if you flip the board on the sheet right here, right, the hardest ones to play in Dispositions is Disruption and priority assets in that order.
It is.
So
in my opinion, right?
I have so many thoughts. I'm letting you two go.
No. Please join in. Absolutely.
I have a very controversial opinion. I know I'm right. Everyone else is wrong.
Love it.
Purge the Foe is good for fast guns. The reason Disruption is so hard, this is the fast melee one. This is where you want to be that spot when you kill your opponent.
Yep.
100%.
The hardest armies in the game over every edition of Warhammer has always been fast melee. I know that sounds weird, like unless they're just utterly broken and table you in one turn. We're not talking about that. Like just fast melee armies.
Harlequins. This is beautiful for Harlequins.
It's split belt time, baby.
What was it? 10th edition World Eaters.
Yes,
we're good, but no one thought they were good because people
early 10th edition.
Early.
But even still, a lot of people didn't see them as even like an A-tier army because
like Berserker Warband would have loved Disruption for sure.
Yeah, and so I think that's part of why, because there are, this is the other one that if people weren't taking the spectacle or the witch cult one for Drukhari, they were taking the Cabal one and taking Disruption, and still doing great. Because if you can deliver your damage reliably and quickly, and I don't think Uppy Downy is good for Disruption because I just went and looked at all the cards. 3 of the cards are action. 1 of them into Purge is kill points, and then the other one that is Jesus Christ.
It's only for the pressure.
Into the Disruption Mirror is just taking hold. It's hold your opponent's home and do a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
So you have 1 mission that's Purge, 1 mission that's taken hold, and then 3 missions that are a mix of priority assets and reconnaissance.
Yep.
So, and a lot of them, you don't need to table your opponent. Like Elfie mentioned, Chris Garcia, I don't know if people know him by his name. He mentioned the one that is into priority assets. He said it's real hard. Here's the thing about it. That one mission in particular, locate and deny, it's not hard because it's hard to score. It is the only primary I've seen where if you play perfectly, you only get 45 points. Like on Reconnaissance, I can max Reconnaissance in most missions by turn 4. Turn 5, I'll get 0 primary because I already got them all. Same with Purge and Take and Hold, and even priority assets. You can max your primary in 4 turns, even 3 if they have an end of the game rider.
Yep.
But in Locate and Deny, he said it's trash. We don't want to misquote. We strive for
garbage.
But this one, even if you get the 4 points every turn, then 8 points every turn, you're only at 40 points. And you can do the action once per turn.
Only
So
have
you
40
need the,
points.
you need the 5 points at the end of battle to even hit 45, which artificially inflates difficulty because it's 25 primary, so the other 24 you have a reasonable shot of overscoring, so you have some room for error to miss a turn or whatever. If you miss anything, you're already just starting behind the curve.
Yep.
So I don't think it's difficult, but I think it's an artificial difficulty, not difficulty in execution. Because really all it is kill one enemy unit on one objective and do one action that no enemy unit's on, and then leave one marker on the battlefield at the end of the battle that on an objective you control. So 50% of the time, if you go second and have a fairly equal game, you'll get 45 points. The other 50%, you're stuck at 40 max, nothing you can do about it. And that sucks. Correct.
So yeah.
You cancel them.
Also,
Yeah,
we
so
need
this has been my experience, and I'm going to cut in just for a second here because I run a Death Company heavy list that goes inordinately fast. I mean, it's very fast. So there are a lot of times where I'm spending the first 2 to 3 rounds where I'm trying to pummel you, or or we're just trading. And I have a couple of chaff units that I'm just scoring up these points in midboard, and I'm doing a fine job of it. And let's put it this way, I've done 16 games of competitive play with Disruption already. I'm 13-3 with it, and I think 11 of those 13 I've made 100-point games. I've got my max primary in 3 turns at least 4 times playing Disruption, where I've had just turns 2, 3, and 4 have been max 15 points.
Yep. No, and so I don't think Disruption's bad. I think it's that it's the hardest style of army that wants to play it the most.
The learning curve.
Now, just a quick shout out. There is a thing in teams where Disruption takes a loss, but they burn their army out in 3 turns to score as many points as possible to close the gap of the loss. That's a whole different thing. But in teams, Disruption is normally the fall guy because, like you said, you can score so many points in most primaries. Just don't put them into the priority assets.
You shouldn't get 20 owed if you're playing a Disruption in anything other than priority.
I did an interview with a guy. He got best general at the ATC 5-man playing Thousand Suns pre-nerfs, and he did that. He said his opponent knew he was going to lose. He just didn't want to get 20 owed. He got tabled by turn 3, scored 51 points, and cool at 19-1 no matter what you do.
That's what I'm saying. That's insane. Now, I will say this. I keep mentioning the priority assets matchup, and there's a reason why I keep mentioning that as like the big downfall for Disruption. Inherently, if you read the cards, there's 3 ways for the priority player to score primary. It's only 2 ways for the Disruption player to score. So the priority assets player for 4 rounds of the game can score more primary than you.
Yes.
And your goal as the Disruption player in that matchup that I've found to be helpful is you must control the center objective. You have to deny their ability to perform the action to make it a balanced primary game.
Yep.
And that's the downfall going into priority assets.
Shout out to Frontline Gaming. What up, guys? Welcome. Absolutely. All right. I think there is magic in the taking hold, but any type of practice allows you to pivot into any matchup. That's very true. That's extremely true. We're going to touch on that, but anything that you pick as your disposition, what you're really enjoying playing, the more you play it, the more you're going to get confident into whatever other disposition you're paired into. Right. So practice makes perfect a lot with these dispositions, for sure. Real quick, Black Templar players, try Disruption. Thank me later with your surge moves. I'm not even kidding. Like you said, control the center. Oh, I'm just gonna say, you're gonna shoot me? Cool, I wanted that. I'll come to you. You're not gonna shoot me? That's insane. I got 40 OC on this bitch.
Hey, Ryan, yeah. you were just saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Listen, I like Disruption for what I do. My style with Blood Angels specifically has always been to go hard, go fast, roll buckets of dice, and just see what happens. I'm aiming to try to keep you in. I'm trying to hold you in your deployment zone and rack up as many points as I can. It's how I like to play the game. It's fast, it's loud, and sometimes I implode, and it is what it is. It happens. But I found with Disposition, it's actually been really fun because it is so versatile. It's probably the most versatile. Depending on what you're paired into, it really changes what your primary goal is. And you have to have those fast-moving I told you this the other day. I take full responsibility for suppressors going up 10 points a unit. I don't know anybody else that played them up until I brought two sets of them. And
You're
then
the only one playing them.
I know, but you know what? Riel, to her credit, Riel started playing some of them too. I think that's a big part of the game right now. We'll get into that, but I think those units that compound on the roll versus the ballistic skill that you get from cover, I think all of those units really needed to get pumped up on their pricing, for sure.
True indeed.
But yeah, I mean, anybody in the chat who's hating on Disruption, we will have a friendly contest. I will play Disruption. We will see if we can change your mind. But yes, next time I play, I'm playing priority assets. I'm going to try and mix it up. I'm going to change the list a little bit, and yeah, I think right now that like I said at the beginning, it's so fun to have so much versatility in picking something that might not have been a meta detachment, but because of your disposition and how you're building your list, you can really make this your army work. And I think these dispositions just really help the game a lot because you're picking your primary. It's an incredible time to play the game right now. I think it's awesome.
The vibes are different. The game is different, man. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. My favorite thing probably in 40K right now is stopping people from like spamming data sheets and by increasing the points on second and third units for the abuse units.
That tax adds up, man. That tax adds up for sure.
Allows players. It does, and it allows players like me, like Reigel, like yourself, who are faction specialists and like to play Blood Angels pure, Tyranids pure, and World Eaters or Harlequins pure, right? Like I really enjoy that portion of it. So real nice, man. I mean, I guess you could sprinkle in the demons for chaos a little bit. That's not weird. I don't think that's like playing different factions.
Yeah.
If you're in the codex, they're part of the faction as far as the team companion is concerned.
Yeah. And now, I mean, honestly, what I'd like to do is just kind of maybe do a little round table real quick. I mean, what have you guys been playing the most? What's been your most used disposition so far?
Look, I'm not a fair ask. I saw Reconnaissance and I immediately pegged it as like the best disposition in the edition. And specifically, again, if your army do not play like Death Guard, bottom 3, don't do that on Reconnaissance.
Yeah.
Also, just something I will get into this data in a second, but like I play Vanguard Nids. I started with High Fleet Kraken. I love Gene Stealers that go zoom. And I just, it's fun. So yeah, Reconnaissance is great for me because I don't like having to kill my opponent. I don't like having to depend on my dice to show up for me. I like being able to, like you said, pre-measure, move, stage, and go, if I get a 2-inch advance, I'll get engaged next turn. Or, if I keep pressuring you with Gene Stealers and Raveners and I Flyer Int, your backfield eventually has to get empty and my Lictors and Spore Mines will get me back there. So I like either forcing bad decisions, as our Recon can attest to, or just a guaranteed game plan of I can get to a spot, I can get my points, move on next turn. And Reconnaissance is bar none the best for that.
It's definitely allowing you to play your style of game, for sure. 100%.
I have 15 games of 11th edition under my belt, and I have not scored lower than 80 points. And I'm very proud of that. Also, that is an insane metric.
It's crazy numbers. Yeah, it's wild.
Like, it scores so, and I'm going to tell you a lot of those points are on the secondary side, not the primary side, because the secondary still have things like Bring It Down and Assassinate, and drawing those turns 4 and 5 really hurts. But no, Reconnaissance, I am taking a look at Disruption, because the other detachment, I take the Vanguard and the Lictors 1 DP. And Tyranids can also do Disruption, because I can also precision my damage, just target a single objective, get it, and move on. But Reconnaissance has been my all 15 games primary, and I love it. It's great.
Oh, yeah. Lewis, what have you been playing?
Yeah, Lewis.
I've been everywhere. Since the beginning, I didn't want to, but we were forced into playing it with World Eaters, especially the list that were best was Purge the Foe.
Yeah.
Now, after the update, it's been priority assets and taking hold.
How's Taking Hold working for you? Because I feel like that might be like the place where World Eaters live, honestly.
Yeah, but you have to take those D1s, as I mentioned earlier, right? And for those of you who don't understand what a D1 is, for people who are listening, D1 is like the top defensive type of data sheet that you can carry in your faction, right, or your army. So if you have Terminators, that would probably be your D1, especially if you're like Space Wolves, Terminators, or Dark Angel Terminators, something like that, right? So it forces me to take Terminators into that list. So I can't really build it any way currently that I can think of, but it forces me to do that. What's up, brother?
Have you considered Blood Crushers with a 4-up invuln? Those things are a nightmare to get through.
No, that's what I was doing priority assets with, and they went up in points. I think they went up 20 points. A couple of things in the KDK. Okay, so you're a gamer. You're a professional gamer like myself. When you see factions data sheets go up for your KDK, for example, what I was running was KDK. My list went up about 120 points because it was built a certain particular way for that KDK and that disposition. The disposition changed. Now, the disposition for them is more, I believe it was Disruption or Taking Hold. I don't remember, but I kind of just jumped out as soon as I saw that.
It's Taking Hold now for Corn Demon Kid.
Yep, so it's Taking Hold now. So once they increased the points, I went in another direction where I said, listen, if I'm going to do Taking Hold, I want to do Terminators with Taking Hold. So I started going back to more World Eaters than Demons themselves. So that's kind of the reason right now why I'm using Terminators and locking into Terminators for that. Yeah,
what detachment are you using for your World Eaters?
That's Vessel. Hold up, that's
the 1 DP Terminator one, whatever that is.
For sure, yeah. For sure. I hope so.
Vessels and Terminators.
Vessels is 1 DP as well now.
Hold on, I'm looking it up right now. I can't.
While he's doing that, I just want to touch on this slide real quick. I want to point out one thing where you see GSC are doing real bad with Reconnaissance. Reconnaissance is better for traditional speed armies or things like Warp Spiders who can just go crazy fast without the 8-inch restriction. Teleporting is not speed. Teleporting is a lie. Teleporting is mobility. It is not speed. So if you're a teleport army, you're like, oh, I've heard Reconnaissance is good if you're really fast. Do not get that confused. Yeah. You will be screened and you will be sad.
I would like to see some more Gene Stealer cults, honestly. I feel like they're another army that's kind of a little underrepresented too. I'd like to see them playing into Taking Hold, honestly.
Yeah, they're one of the armies that can do real good on Disruption, just by the nature of how they play. And Taking Hold in priority assets as well, because their mechanic to come back means turn 5, they still got 5 or 6 units floating around.
Yeah, that's true. Priority assets might be a really good play for them as well. I mean, that's the thing is if anybody watching, if you get anything out of this right now, it's that Brad wants you to play those factions that are underrepresented. Bring them out. We want to see them. Also, I don't care where they rank.
Take a Hold and Purge.
What are the 2 detachments you're playing?
Take a Hold and Purge. So basically the 2 simplest ones.
Yeah.
No, the detachments though. What are they tied to?
Oh, they're Slaughterbound and Butchers of Corn.
Yeah, okay. And just to tell you real quick, again, we're just going to skim this slide real quick. But notice how many armies are mentioned multiple times. Just kind of going back to our original beginning of the conversation, armies are no longer pigeonholed into one detachment or one playstyle. Orcs have 3, Thousand Sons have 2, Necrons have 2, like in the green. And in the red, take the red with a little bit of a grain of salt, because like God bless the Astra Militarum players who picked Purge the Foe with that army. I don't know what they were taking hold. Makes sense. You take 60 Kriegers that can revive guys and have an invuln. I get it. Not the greatest idea, but I get it. But like Death Guard Reconnaissance, don't. That's not Reconnaissance fault.
Yeah, you can't blame Reconnaissance for that. You shouldn't be anywhere near that.
So yeah, just take, and like Sisters taking hold. They don't really have sticky. They don't really have, you know, those. They don't really have like they're actually notoriously not durable. So
they thought Blight Lords was speed and not position.
Listen, Fulgrim is an exception. He's not the rule. Okay.
Yeah. The Imperial agents on Disruption. I think that's because that's what the Imperialist fleet was, and Folger came in like 3rd at Worlds or something. So.
Yeah,
and there's like 3 players at any given time in like a data slate. So, but yeah, no, you can just say Custodes have 2. So there's just a lot of good stuff. Chaos Demons with priority assets, and then Chaos Demons at the bad end of Reconnaissance. That's because I believe Reconnaissance is Disruption is what they're. I forget which one the generic one is. Demonic Incursion, but it's Reconnaissance or Disruption. It's one of the 2. Anyways, Lewis has control of the slides. All right, time to vamp, my favorite. All right, Brad, I'm going to ask you a question. I asked it in chat at the beginning. What is your best, worst, and dark horse dispositions?
Oof. I feel like...
Just like for the meta, not for any given army, just like, say in a month, we come back and look at this and we see, you know, before the next day, it's like where they all fell.
I feel like Take and Hold is probably going to be your most consistent. I feel like Take and Hold is going to be the most consistently either middle of the road or top of the pack constantly. I think you'll see a lot of fluctuation with everything else. I think you'll see Purge high one week. I think you'll see priority assets high one week. Reconnaissance. I think probably the worst right now, and again, I feel like maybe it's a little underrepresented, is Disruption, but I feel like a lot of this stuff, you have to kind of take it with an asterisk, because all the data that's going into this stuff, you got to understand there's a lot of newer players that are trying to get a feel for the game, trying to learn the game, who are going to these events that might influence a lot of these numbers. But the percentages be damned. I say, and I said this at the beginning, it's a weird time because you can pick what primary best suits how you want to play your army, and you'll find success with it. And I'll say it again. I'm playing what is classified as a C tier army in the worst possible disposition based on the numbers, and I've seen great success with it.
Yep.
Great success. I mean, it's hard to fault a disposition based off of numbers when we don't know every metric that goes in. We don't know how much to take on an asterisk. I say play what you want. I say absolutely play with what you want.
I agree.
Lewis.
Just be cognizant, though. Be cognizant of what you're playing and what skill cap.
That's the big thing, right? And that's what I want to get into after discussing all these dispositions. And you guys know just as well as I do that tailoring your list to what your disposition choice is so much more monumentally important than what was on the meta at the top of the meta this week for army factions. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Not as a player, like as a guy like me, or anybody else that goes to all these majors and plays all these games. That doesn't matter. It's what, as long as you lean into your disposition and you're building to accomplish your chosen primary goal for this event, I think you're always going to find success.
Yep.
What were we going to say, Reigel?
I said that was way more nuanced than I expected, but that was awesome. Thank you. Lewis, same question. What's best, worst, and dark horse dispositions you think by the time the next data set rolls around?
Best in my opinion, or just best?
Well, yeah. Well, yes, I'm asking you.
Best in my opinion, I think. In my biased opinion, I still think that Purge or Taken Hold are going to be the default best. I think Taken Hold is probably going to be the most frequently used and most easily used. And by that, it's like Space Marines. Space Marines, because they're the most ubiquitous, right? They're the
poster child, for sure.
They're the poster child. More people use more Space Marines, but that doesn't inherently mean that their numbers are better because of that, right? So I think it's the same thing. I think Take a Hold, and I think the worst one is going to continue. I think Recon is probably going to be the worst one for people to kind of adapt to and want to play later on. Not because it's bad, but because they're going to try to figure out different ways to play their factions and adapt with all the updates. I think you're going to have particular ones that are still going to be hitting the notes with Recon, maybe like Tyranid players, Guard players, things like that. But I think they're going to be one of the least taken and one of the worst.
Nice. No, it's fantastic breakdown. I disagree with both of you, unsurprisingly. I have my correct opinion.
And as we discussed earlier, you're right.
No, that was specifically on Disruption being good for fast melee. I genuinely think Disruption, if you're fast melee, that is your best play, or counteractive melee, because you're doing everything you want, killing, being a place, being prime. Anyways, I think the best is going to be priority assets. I think if you look at percentage taken and event wins, is going to be priority assets. I think the worst is actually going to be Purge the Foe. I think people have already started to figure it out, and with the map changes on the last the data slate, I think it gets a little bit harder.
GW just pushing it, pounding it.
I think it's going to be good, but I think now I think more that it's because it was kind of the stepping stone to learn 11th edition disposition for a lot of people. Now it's rarer. You're going to see it much less, and it's on much worse attachments. They've kind of balanced it. Okay, this is a good primary. Have B or C tier rules with it, and then do good.
Yep.
I think the dark horse is going to be Reconnaissance, because I think Reconnaissance is the best primary into party assets.
You're probably right there. Yeah.
I think that party asset, you're going to see the most event wins, because it is it's just solid. Whether you're again learning 11th or are a top tier player going to win a GT, you can just do it with priority assets across the scale. And then I think between them it'll be that's my vote. I'm biased.
I think that's a hot take to put Purge at the bottom. Yeah,
it is a hot take.
It's already falling off, and I think it's going to keep falling because Disruption was already the most advantaged into it. Their maps got better. Yeah, and a lot of the detachments that had Purge switched to priorities. Now all the strong detachments, Coterie of the Conceited, Blades of Ultramar, some other notable the Knights. A lot of them switched from Purge to priority, or just kept priority on the good B tier options like Valor Strike. So yeah, and then Thousand Suns and Tau going from Mount Kata Kaiyun are either going to go to Tau specifically do Reconnaissance or Disruption or assets, and Thousands are just going to go Take and Hold or priority assets. So it's just No,
I agree. No, I love your assessment. I think you're going to end up being probably most accurate out of all of us.
I had the least nuance. I'm just looking at it a pure data and competitive player mindset, and I'm yep.
Well, you're forecasting for what GW usually does, right? And they're just going to pound the shit out of Purge the Foe. They're going to make it not exist anymore, like they did with the 3 birds from the demons, and they do with everything else.
Okay. This is getting a little bit. I think it'll be fine. Look, when I say worse, I think that if we look at the data in 2 weeks, not a week, but by the time the next show comes around, it'll be a 4% gap. It'll be 51 to 47 or 52 to 40. And maybe even a 3%. That's a bit wild, but who knows?
Also, speaking of next show, thank you for that impromptu. And I know you didn't do it intentionally, but thank you.
I'm a professional.
Segue time.
September 8th. And this is news to everyone on this show. especially to Brad. There's going to be a Crucible QuestCon show we're going to be doing together on that day with all of the tournament organizers, including Tim Wright himself.
Timmy.
So that's going to be nice. What'd you say, Regal?
I said, I'm going to be outnumbered. Send me your questions on Facebook and Discord. I'll ask them for you guys. Who wants a question?
Well, maybe I'll have to come back for the show then.
You're going to be here, duh.
Oh, yeah, I got to do it. Oh. All right.
It's going to be you. It's going to be you. Shout out to you, obviously. It's going to be you, Jared.
Hold on, we're not giving it away early. Remember, you're
right. Sorry, my bad.
Everyone who heard that, forget it. Just surprise.
So then we should come back at Crucible and let's see what the numbers are then, and we'll compare to today.
Yes.
And the funny thing is other than me and Lewis both kind of going with Taken Hold being towards the top, we all had different opinions on this, and that's beautiful.
Yep.
Yes.
That's how hard this is to predict. I think like what you're saying, Regal, it's valid up until after next week.
Yep.
I think because Reconnaissance is so high this week, you're going to see Taken Hold jump way up because that's how you're going to counter it. And then the following week, it's going to change. It's going to be, vice versa. It's just good. It's going to keep jumping around. It's going to.
Hold on. I can't take this Reconnaissance slander. Do you think Taken Hold is advantage into Reconnaissance?
I do.
Do you know what the Reconnaissance primary is into Taken Hold?
I do.
It is just engage on all fronts.
100%. But this is the thing, right? It's like you've said, you've been playing Reconnaissance. You're very versed in it already. So, like I said, I think when it comes to representation, I think it's going to continue to fluctuate like this. And where you see Reconnaissance high this week, it's not going to be so high next week. I promise you.
Yeah, no.
It's just going to it's going to be a revolving door.
Yeah.
And I'll be disappointed if my pretty little disruption stays at the bottom.
No, you're right. Then again, that's the beauty of it. When
I didn't mean that.
Why are you trying to steal the limelight, man?
All right, guess we're done. Thanks, folks.
Just bumped us out.
Sorry, guys.
No,
it's the Lewis show now.
I think you are correct that, there is Reconnaissance is doing great. So we're going to do the one, maybe it is taking all the, this is the one that's going to beat it. More people kind of tech for it. And that's a beautiful thing. Very few lists are 3DP lists or going to be, because something we didn't even touch on, not only did dispositions change, but with that, some detachments went from 3 to 2.
Yeah.
So that will
honestly, I hope they continue to do that with these data slates where they do change stuff like that, because that's how we're going to keep all this versatility alive. It's when it stays one thing linear for too long is where the metas really start to creep in. And as long as they keep changing that and we can keep that revolving door going, I think that's what keeps the game fun.
I think every single army should have one viable 3DP worthy, not agents. Don't do it to agents, they just fix them. Everybody else should have one 3DP max, other than Space Marines, but they're like 20 armies in a trench coat.
I was going to say, I'm a Blood Angels player. I've got like 4.
Yeah, but like one max. And I like the Space Marine thing where your Stormlands is 2, Space Stormlands is 3.
Yeah.
That's fine. But yeah, 1, 2 if you're a multi-codex thing. And then the rest are just 2 and 1s. Because that really, right now I'm playing Reconnaissance, I could flex a disruption. And I can just go, okay, I want to do a same army, same list, maybe change out a unit or 2 and some enhancements, but just do that. And I think that's, like you said, it helps the revolving door. Also, on the subject of disruption, guys, Eldar is no longer pigeonholed into it. It's going to go up, like I said, by 1.5% minimum. Eldar have better options with both detachments and the dispositions tied to them. You guys are going to be fine. Disruption's going to go up. I agree. No shade to Elfie, but it was just the Eldar's best detachment was pigeonholed to do that and only that. So they don't anymore.
Shout out to Elfie too, because that Dreammaker, when I seen he brought Eldar, I didn't even look at what everybody brought. but there was so much Eldar representation that, but he loves that army. Like when I think about LP, I think Eldar. So I would like to see Eldar not being pigeonholed into playing just one disposition. So I think that's fantastic.
Brett, if we go back to Ynnari days, I will come to your house.
I don't want that either. Okay, I don't want it either.
Wishing for better Eldar is a monkey's paw situation because GW cannot get it right.
Yeah, but I mean, where I don't want things to be like overly oppressive because then everybody just plays it. I want something to be extremely viable. Like I want that good game every time.
You're a genius. You got it right. Now we're go.
Yep.
Harlequin, we solved it.
Yeah, Lewis, Harlequins.
Harlequins. I will have them
Ynnari
out very,
with-
very
Purge. With Purge. Look, the fact that strength or whatever that stratagem was basically punishing your opponent for Purge, that is a crazy throw out.
Yeah.
Also with the Incarn still doing its trick, don't think you can lull me into a false sense of security. But no, so kind of being at the end, like you said, going to kind of a round table. Where do you guys kind of what are you looking for? Like for like I'm going to Crucible next, and so far I'm sticking with Reconnaissance. I'm happy where I'm at. Even looking at the meta around me, the armies, I'm probably going to play the best armies looking to go forward. Orcs, still some variant of Space Marines, whether it's Blood Angels, Dark Angels, more Ultramarines, and other detachments that aren't Blade, maybe Libraries with something. I'm still happy with Reconnaissance. And something we haven't touched on yet that I always preach. I know Lewis is a big fan of. Brad, I assume you are with your love of Blood Angels, but your play style and what you comfort and identify with, like how you enjoy the game, will always supersede data or rules.
Yep.
Sure.
I have said it before, and I'll keep saying it. If the most viable way to play Tyranids is Swarm Tyranids, I don't care if they have an 80% win rate across the whole game. I'm not doing it. That's not me. I don't want to do that. So always play what you want, even if it's not the best, because it's a game, guys. We have fun. We do this. We do a podcast. Lewis goes out 3 weekends a month. Brad travels to events and spends all day bending over a table with another guy.
Oh yeah.
Too. My back hurts and my voice is gone, but I have a great time doing it. But it's
100%.
Exactly.
I mean,
like
Lewis, listen, Lewis has the TO often, but I love seeing him whenever we go to like RTTs and he actually gets to play. Like the joy this man has to actually sit down at a table and just play uninterrupted for 3 hours. It's great. I want to see it more often.
Uninterrupted this
Well,
last GT.
listen, when it happens, yes. When it happens, yes. Now, oftentimes you're still the rules guru, and we have to confer with you, and you shake up the chicken bones and you tell us whatever our fortune is. But
being at an RTT with him with like 12 people in a small shop and just hearing him full lung capacity wah.
Yeah. Or just the laughter when something absolutely obnoxious is said, usually by me, and he just belly laughs it out like it's the best. It's the best because he spends a lot of time putting on for the community. So like whenever we get to just sit around and just really kick it and have fun, it's amazing.
Oh yeah, for those you haven't played
every
Lewis,
Thursday.
do it.
Every Thursday I had to play though.
Nice.
I'm not there for that though. I don't get to see it.
I know.
I'm gonna try
I know.
and join you guys.
Every Thursday we're out there playing and having a great time. So it's been nice. I would love to see you, Reigel, of course. I know I would love to see you too, Brad, but it's about 3.5 hours away. So
listen, I make that commute more than I probably should. So I love you. That's why I'm there.
Look, I used to make that commute, then I brought the commute to me. If I could just bring 40K to my side of town, I'd be set.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
But
unfortunately I'm an East Coaster, so I gotta drive really far to see my boo baby over there.
Man, Florida is so big. For those of you who are not a part of Florida and living on the outskirts in different states, Florida is so weird because we're on an island. Like east, west, and the south is nothing but ocean, right? So no one migrates from those places.
I think Regal's going to freak out because it's a peninsula and not an island.
I know. I know it's a peninsula.
I said it for you, Regal. You didn't have to. I love you, brother.
It's a 40K island. It's a 40K
The only reason
island,
that upsets me is because Florida is like one Richter scale 4 earthquake away from just not existing.
Yeah, we could fall off into the ocean at any time. Absolutely, yeah.
For those of you who want an existential crisis, we don't have bedrock, we have limestone. Just Google the fracture rate of limestone earthquake.
If you look at it funny, it fractures for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
But
yeah, we're just floating here, just hoping to stay connected at this point.
Mm-hmm. But no.
But I guess my big question here for Regal is you're going to Crucible, you have your stuff lined out, you've been running Reconnaissance, you're comfortable with Reconnaissance. What are you hoping as far as matchups go? Like, what's the disposition you really enjoy playing into?
Take and hold.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, no joke. Here's the thing. I can take, but this is by the nature of my detachment and my army itself. Yeah. I can take and hold into almost every list in the game, every army. I mean, by the nature of how 11th edition encourages list building, and if the new Orc Codex previews or anything to go by, really going to be leaning into, I can take, engage on all fronts, and assassinate, and score 100 by turn 4. Yeah,
100%, absolutely. Absolutely.
Score 95 because you get the 5 points. I don't know if you know this, Brad, but and for those of you on the show who aren't aware, the 15 points of secondaries per turn is only on tactical.
Yes.
If you're fixed and you kill 5 characters, you get 20 points in 1 turn.
Yeah.
Super funny.
There's no cap. There's no cap. Yeah.
So it makes the only reason I got to play till turn 5 is just to finish my last turn of primary engage and secondary engage, and then like cool. I got a couple spore mines I hit around my Biobor, maybe a Lictor, a Neuro Tyrant, done.
You can almost talk it out at that point. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I just like I've played Orcs twice, and I look at my opponent and I'm like, I'm so sorry for what I'm about to do, and they're like, why? Because they're taking hold, both of them, and I'm like, turn 5, I'm going to shadows you, and I'm going to be at like 87 before turn 5 gets here, and they're just like,
yeah.
No, and then I go through them. I show them the math and like my army, and they're like, "Huh?" Because not only do I have epic challenge with things like, or Lictors have precision base, I have epic challenge for the Hive Tyrant or the Red Terror, and then I have a strat to give an entire unit of Gene Stealers precision with Broodlord. Every character in the game just gets ripped out of a unit.
Yeah.
So no, but that's I love taking hold. It is great. I actually hate Purge the Foe. Not because the primary sucks, just because Tyranids suck into it.
Right.
Spore mines count, and like we're saving on 5s at best with everything that isn't a character, or we're just dying. So like, even I played a guard tank army, and I jailed him turn 1. By the end of the game, he only had 2 Rogador and tank commanders. I scored like 97 or something. He still got to like 85 just because killing me was not a problem.
There you go, Regal.
Do it.
You guys remember the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie, the first one?
Oh, yeah.
The Green Goblin mask just in the mirror calling him a coward? That's just a Harridan on my shelf. The Harridan just like, do it. Do it. I'm like, I will. I'm a madman. I did it last Crucible. Had a great time.
You did actually, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Not a Crucible, but other things.
You got shamed though. You got shamed by wifey.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you've heard the story, Brad.
Exactly. She was like, "You could have won though.
So you
could have been better though."
You know. For what it's worth, I have one of those too, and she likes to remind me every time I go off the walls and play something that's just silly and fun, just for myself to have a good time. And I like 2 and 3 or 3 and 2. She's just like, you could have just played Blood Angels and done real well. Yeah, no. Sometimes it's for me, okay? If I want to bring 30 Vespid Stingwings, I'm going to bring 30 Vespid Stingwings. That's what I wanted to do today.
I'll stop my feet if I want to.
My fiance is like, I'm so jealous of her. She is the funniest person I've ever met, and she doesn't have to try, and I it's great. The other thing, aside from demanding we come back the next year, the other thing she said, she asked me about it and kind of wanted my thoughts on it. She didn't really understand, but she could track along well enough. And I explained it to her about the Harridan and the choice and the cool factor versus skill and everything, and just Tyranid as an army at that point in the meta. And she just sits there quietly for a minute. She thinks about her words, unlike me. And she goes, so it sounds like if you just played a better army, you'd do better.
Yep.
So yours is learning the tragic art of being a little too brutally honest with you, and a level of sarcasm that just is an atom bomb waiting to come out of her mouth.
No, worse psychologically, it's worse, right? And this is coming from someone who has the bachelor's. She is basically making him resonate it internally so he can hate himself, basically, right? Not that far, right? Not that far.
That way the Green Goblin mask reflection gets really cruel to you at the end of the day. Yeah.
There's a part 2 to this. Fast forward to February when I go to Cherokee with the aforementioned triple corner of skulls. This is a 100% theory list. I had no practice.
It's also a meme, so
we at Crucible, I went 2 and 5. Was awesome. Had a great time.
Sure.
Go to this event with no practice, with an army I've never played, with an archetype I've never played, never put it on the table. I went 4 and 3, and God bless this woman. We're leaving the final day, and she goes, so it is the army.
No, that's when you tell her it's 100% the dice. We have to buy more dice.
Like, yep, nope. She did. She pointed this right here did psychological damage to me. So my armies, for those of you who don't know, are Tyranids, Necrons, and Slanesh demons. They share a common theme. And for those of you who don't know the lore, all Tyranids are either genderless or female because they can't reproduce other than Norn queens.
Yep.
Necrons have no gender; they're just robots. And Slanesh demons, they are by definition androgynous. So they're either queens that slay or yeah.
I feel like you're missing one particular that falls under that cat. I believe Eldar falls under that category as well.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Sisters of Battle, and no, she wants to pick them up.
No, I think they're just a little sexist, actually.
There's men. The men are allowed to like
whatever the opposite of the He-Man Woman Haters Club. That's what Sisters of Battles is. That's all it is.
Look, they legally have to do that because the Imperium said no man can bear arms.
That's right.
Listen, it's a whole new era, and I'm sure by the 41st millennia, we've figured out that a woe man is equivalent. I'm sure.
I have 2 in this house right now. I'm safe. I'm completely safe.
I've got one sitting next to me. He can hit me now. So, yeah.
As soon as it's over, I'm going to go visit mine to give her goodnight forehead kiss. So, And
Speaking of which, good nights. Thank you for that segue. Anything you want to shut off or shout out before we head out? Especially you, Brad. If you have any clubs, go ahead, Regal.
Well, then let him go first.
Well, mine's going to be a general. I love that we kind of live in such a melting pot with so many great teams, and that we get to see each other so frequently. So, I mean, between like Tactical Tortoise and Art of War and Onslaught, and then you got Team Degen. You've got so many teams that come out for this stuff. And it's such a community, right? So shout out to all these guys. I mean, even the guys down south, you got Flynn's Arcade, you got the Miami Dice guys, Guildhall High Rollers. I mean, there's just so many, DDR. I mean, there's so many groups and so many clubs, and we get to play with each other so often. And the community out here is just amazing, man. So when I go into Crucible, I'm just so excited to see all these different clubs. And a big event like that, you're going to see somebody from all of them, and that's the magic right there. It's going to be a blast, man.
Is the golden age of the clocks too?
Oh yeah, bring your clocks, bring them. Sometimes you need it for sure.
Yep, Reigel, take it away, my brother, and I'll close it.
Just on a final note, what I would say, and we always reiterate. Play what you want. Play what you think might be good. Try your combos out. There are things that people, the community, whether it be high tier players or just voices in the community, maybe your own local shops, even us. Play for yourself. Play to your experience. Play what you like. Things aren't found out until someone does it first. So, there are from the top of the hierarchy best players in the world to the people in their garage that just think a unit doesn't look fun, so they ever try it. Break it out, try the combo, try different things. You might be the one that finds the next broken interaction. Who knows? So
and you might be the one that starts off with 3 Harridans in your list.
Look, I can put
not you, the people.
Look, if they have the money for that,
or the one Space Marine player that still runs suppressors. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Look, donate your Harridans. I'll take them. I'll run them. I'm not scared. I'm an admiral.
Because you need more buffs, for sure.
I actually do. I'm like 85% done with the line. I need a couple more. But
all right, here's the thing. If you send us free Harridans, Reigel will play them.
Yes, he has to. We're going to say it now. Any free Harridan, he has to play.
Yeah.
He has to.
Punished for this. I'll do it.
At a maximum, right?
You don't have a choice. You have to.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. You only run 2 now because they put a step tax on the Harridan.
Yeah, but you know what? You'll pay that tax and you'll run 3. That's what's happening.
You can't run 3 anymore. It's too expensive.
Drop an enhancement, you're running the 3rd.
No. The problem is if you run 3 and you're not at 2,000 points, but no characters can be put in the list. They're all too expensive.
Doesn't matter.
So it's illegal.
Unnecessary.
We'll make an exception. We'll give you a rider for one of the Harridans.
Whatever you can hang off of it. There you go.
You know what? Charity game. This has the character keyword. Let's go.
Yes. But it has to have a rider on it. It's got to be has to have a rider like House of the Dragons. It's got to be 100%. Like that. I'll put a
Kellamorph on one and a Reductus Saboteur on the other.
It's got to be you, though. It's got to be a dude with a red beard, bald head, riding the Harridan.
GSC, you're bald anyway.
I feel like a very simple one here to mention is Votan. We'll just put a Votan head on it.
Votan, perfect. You're right.
People, if you print me a Marnius Calgar with its mouth open head, I'll put it on the Harridan.
That would be funny, actually.
I don't know if you guys have seen the memes of every unit being turned into Calgar, but I love them. They never get old to me.
Somebody do Regal's head. Meme his head for a Harridan.
Hey, yes. Pat, anybody, 3D print Regal's head, please. Yes. I will put it on every Space Marine body I have.
What's sad is I know a couple people in the chat who have either 3D printers or know people who have 3D printers. So next event, you had to have people come like, it's a Ziploc bag. It's like, hey, talk to the parking lot real quick. I got the goods.
I will build the most regal chapter of Space Marines you have ever seen.
But no, again, just try what you want. Don't let anyone ever talk you out of it. I'm going to talk you out of Disruption World Eaters. Don't do that. You're not going to like it.
I'm going to talk you into Disruption Blood Angels. You're going to love it.
But yeah, just try the fun stuff. Try what you like. Try what works for you. And again, have fun with your friends. It's a game. Yeah,
man. Rule of cool, man. If you like it, I'm sure you can figure it out. You can figure it out 100%.
We'll be back in 2 weeks. More stats showing how wrong I am. It's fine. Just more proof I'm right. It gets wronger and wronger every week.
I doubt it. Man, you're sound with the statistics, man. But I do have something secret to say. The reason I'm always laughing is because I am the Kegara. I am the laughing god.
On a more serious note, for you guys, to help us help you, if you have ideas of shows you want to see or topics you want us to cover on the channel, we have a tactics series. We have a deep dive faction expert series where you interview people. By all means, give us ideas. We have a show lined up coming out soon, TM, going over Battle Shock and how it has changed, both in its own mechanic and through out of phase things. The other interactions you want to hear about, we have rapid fire tactics, OCS, and as we said, the faction specialist series. So hit us up. We're more than happy to provide for you guys, the community.
100%. We love you all. And don't forget, Onslaught Gaming 40K, where victory is just a strategy away. Love you, my peoples. We see you next time.
Thanks for having me, guys. Love y'all.
Everyone give Brad a round of applause. He did great.
Peace out.
I'll see you guys at Crucible.
Burn me.
Oh, yeah.